back in the 80s, if you wanted to go into sales, that you would have been classified as a boomer by today's standards. And back in the 80s, if you wanted to go in sales and be really good, you went to IBM, HP, Xerox, Control Data, you name some of the agencies, and they put you through a year and a half long program. I mean, the first couple of weeks was there was knowledge training, training about the products, training about the industry, training about the markets you'd be going after. They did a lot of skills training. They taught you about sales process, sales skills. They tested you on it. You role played. They videotaped it. They played it back. And then they kind of did it in stages. So they do that part, and then you go out in the field with somebody, a sales rep or a manager, and you would just observe. What are they doing? How are they doing it? You'd see the stuff in action. Then you'd come back and you go through more classroom training, and then you go out in the field and they give you a little responsibility, and it would alternate between classroom and field experience, each time in the field getting more and more and more responsibility, but also feedback and coaching that was meant to be developmental. That was a year and a half long process. When the economy tanked in the late 80s, then downsizing happened, all that went away. Now, I kind of contrast that with about 8 years ago, I went to Morocco and I went to a tile factory. And before they would let you make tiles on your own, you had to apprentice for 5 years. How does the clay get made? How what's the right mixture? How do you make the shapes? How do you fire it? How do you put the glaze on it? I mean, that was 5 years to make tile. And yet now, when I talk to people today, they'll tell me they might get 3 days of training. If they're really fortunate, they might get 5 days of training. And that's usually not skills training. That's usually product knowledge, industry knowledge, how to order data and order systems, and here's our corporate structure, that kind of stuff. It's usually not talent development. So one of the problems that I've seen is the boomers like me think that people are still, if they're not aware of this, they think people are still getting that year and a half of training, and they're not getting anything. So now you're getting young people who don't have the skills, don't have the talent, and once that downsizing happened, it forced the responsibility of learning your skill and learning your skill and honing your craft on the individual, which means the individual has to pay their own money to go to sales school. And up until maybe 15 years ago, there were no universities that provided a degree in sales. There's about 30 of them now. But if you got a college degree, why are you going to go back to college and pay for a couple years to get a sales degree? So that's the problem. And so now when you look at millennials or the younger generations, part of what they want, rightfully so in my opinion, is they want to come to a company where the company has a cause. They want to work for a company that they can believe in. It's not just about the money, but they've got a calling, right? Whatever that calling is. It might be social. It might be, like Apple, we want to have the coolest technology out there, but they want to work for a company that has a cause because they want to feel a purpose and a focus, and they want to be developed. So, a lot of ads, I encourage the companies, I'm going, here's the dilemma that a lot of them have in hiring. Do I hire talented people that I don't, senior people with experience that I don't need to invest much in? Or do I hire younger people because they're less experienced and I can get them cheaper? But if you want a less experienced and cheaper individual, then the way you pay them back is you invest heavily in them. There needs to be a year-long training, mentoring, development program. Otherwise, that person will go, oh, I'm not learning anything. I'm not getting better. I'm going to look around. You know, I spent a year here. I've got that on my resume now. And then they jump ship to go somewhere that does believe in investing in their people.